season with a bang on Monday afternoon. Miguel Sano provided the pop with a solo home run in the fourth. And defensively, the Twins were solid and at times spectacular. Byron Buxton made two fantastic diving catches in center field. Irvin Santana threw 7 impressive innings in his season debut, giving up only 2 hits to the Royals. And offensively, the Twins scored 6 runs in the 7th inning. A 7-1 win, Minnesota's first opening day win in 9 seasons. After a day off, the Twins settle in now and start the grind. This afternoon, it's game 2 in this 3-game series against Kansas City. Twins baseball on Fox Sports is presented by State Farm. Today, left-hander Hector Santiago will try to ride the momentum and follow up Santana from Monday. He'll be opposite Ian Kennedy, who went 11-11 last season for the Royals. Good afternoon from Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. Up in 2:30. This is the spot where Miguel Sano's home run landed on Monday afternoon. It was the second hardest hit homer of Sano's career with an exit velocity of 113.8 miles per hour. Last season, Sano 25 home runs and a team. The Twins really got into a home run hitting groove. Since June 5th, the Twins were 4th in the American League with hitting 117 home runs in that span. Paul Molitor said, we have guys, or 147, home runs in that span. And Molitor said he knows he has the hitters to knock them out, but he said first and foremost, we want them to be good hitters. And what sight, and it was Monday. Hoping to follow up Monday with one of his own.
just want to throw strikes. I want to go out there. I want to be out there every fifth day. I want to give the team a chance to win every fifth day. So that's if I can go out there 35 times, this year and give them a chance to win, hopefully get 20, 25 quality starts. But I think for me, the main thing is just try to throw strikes. Go out there and pound the zone.
For Game 2 of the season, the Twins will hand the ball to left-hander Hector Santiago. Came to the Twins in the middle of last year. Did not enjoy success here at Target Field, but this is the start of a new season, and he hopes to step up and give the Twins a good chance to win here this afternoon. Dick Kramer, Burt Blyleven with you for the second game of the season. And Hector Santiago really found something in his last month with the Angels out in Los Angeles, and then a bit of a tough time in his transition to the American League Central and the Twins, but then toward the end of the year last year, again, he was very good.
Yeah, when he came in with a 6-game winning streak as an Angel, but then getting traded for Ricky Nolasco on August 1st, he had a tough time getting going. Yes, he did. He had some good starts, but in the last 7, I think he can feed off of going into the winter and going into this season because he pitched outstanding. He has had trouble here, but again, this is kind of a pitcher's ballpark, and hopefully Hector Santiago can realize that and pitch well here this afternoon.
You look at that opponent batting average. The Twins would love to see numbers like that this year. He'll make his first start of the 2017 season as the Twins hope to start the year with 2 wins in a row. Buxton and the Twins hit the field for Game 2 of the season. Buxton had a difficult day at the plate, but yet he found a way to help the Twins win a ball game with his defense out in center field.
Well, you know what? You're looking at a 5-tool player, and I think the offense will come, but the defense has always been there for Buxton.
Ned Yost hoping that the Royals can recover from a disappointing season opening game. Unlike the Royals to struggle with their relief pitching as they did in the opener on Monday. And here's his Menards batting order for Game 2. And some changes, as there are for the Twins as well. Alex Gordon leading off. Mike Moustakas hitting second, but he's the designated hitter. Then Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, Salvador Perez, Paulo Orlando. Chesler Cuthbert gets a start at third base. Escobar in the lineup every day, and Mondesi getting a start again at second base.
Well, we kind of highlighted Hector Santiago in our open. 29-year-old left-hander, 13-game winner last year, 10 of those wins coming in an Angel uniform, made 11 starts for the Twins. And this will be his 10th career start against the Kansas City Royals.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins, and the Twins played a very tight, solid ball game in the field Monday, and they'd like to see more of that. Rosario, Buxton, Kepler across the outfield again. Sano, Escobar, the starting shortstop. Dozier and Mauer on the right side. Castro behind the plate. Escobar getting a chance to play the position he opened the season with last year at short. And the first pitch up high to Alex Gordon.
Well, Santiago working off that third base side, right in the middle of the pitching rubber. Tries to do exactly that. Get ahead with the fastball, then mix in about 3 or 4 other pitches. Got a screwball, he's got a curveball, a little slider. He'll work inside to lefties as he tried right there.
And now 1-2. Gordon gets a glare, gives a glare back to Tony Randazzo. Dug out by Castro, 2-2.
Yeah, when you see Santiago, one thing you're looking at is you look at the umpires. You mentioned Tony Randazzo behind the plate, Rob Drake at first, Pat Holmberg at second, and crew chief Jerry Davis at third. But what Santiago does, in my opinion, just watching him not only in spring training but also pitching in the WBC, he said that was a big lift for him. He learned a lot from the competitiveness of his catcher, Molina, Yadier Molina, and just being around that atmosphere representing Puerto Rico. But he's an attacker of the strike zone, and then he'll change speeds.
Gordon gets hit in the back of the right hand on a 2-2 pitch. Gordon, who spent so much time on the disabled list last year.
Trying to go inside, looked like clipped him on the elbow, or right on top of that that right hand.
I'll take 3.
And he can make a fist, and the Royals determine that's good enough for them to keep him in the ballgame. Mike Moustakas will hit. The Royals, against a left-hander like Santiago, start the lineup with back-to-back left-handed hitters.
Well, last year with Santiago on the mound, 33 starts, left-handers hit 243, right-handers 245, so not a big difference between the lefties and righties for Santiago.
Pitch is a belt-high strike to Moustakas. Moustakas hit a home run for the only Kansas City run here on Monday. Just missing up and away, 1-1.
Yeah, what was so nice about Monday, Dick? It was a well-played game. It was a quick game. Both starters pitched well. Danny Duffy, and then for the Twins, of course, Irvin Santana pitched 7 very good innings. Only mistake, he only gave up a couple hits, one of them to Moustakas, the home run.
Up high, and Santiago's delivering pitches up and out of the strike zone here in the early going. Talking with Paul Molitor before the game today, he said, he's been around the game a long time, but it just seemed like a larger game to win than it should have been. It was just one game. It's opening day and everything that surrounds it, but just so important for this team to get in the win column early. And that floats outside now, 3-1.
But I think someone that has had the honor of being the starting pitcher on opening day, like Santana was the other day, as a pitcher, and I think it feels the same way as a player, you want to start off on that right path. You want to start off 1-0. As what Santana did, you want your pitchers to go out and hopefully do what he did. Lead by example.
Start the season by setting the bar high.
Right.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, and it's 3-2. We'll see if Gordon takes off. Santiago, lefty, a little bit better at holding on runners than a right-hander might be. And Castro, an improved throwing arm behind the plate for the Twins this year. And Gordon does go, swing and a miss, and Castro's throw right on the bag. Strike him out, throw him out.
Left-handers, being a left-handed pitcher at Santiago, Gordon did not have a good jump at all, and Moustakas swinging through that high fastball. And in Castro, you can almost see it was almost like a delays type steal by Gordon, because he was unsure about taking off, but it was a nice throw and a quick tag for the double play. So it'll strike him out, throw him out.
2 down, and now Lorenzo Cain. Up and away, ball 1. Santiago struggling with his control here. He thinks it's the baseball's fault, so he'll get a new one. Were you persnickety with the baseballs? I mean,
no, not really. You know, as long as the seams were up and I had enough pine tar in my hand, I didn't care. You know what? He's a little pumped up right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's normal. Your first start of the year, you know, you come out of spring training, you feel a little strong. Actually, you know, you're down in spring training for 6-7 weeks in warm weather. You come up here, it's chilly. It actually, I thought it made pitchers feel stronger up here. Kyle Gibson will get the mound here tomorrow afternoon.
Up high again.
You can almost see him rushing right there. His body way out before not allowing his arm to catch up. And those are the adjustments he'll have to make.
And I think we did see that in an uneven Twins half season last year. His ability to make adjustments, self-correcting some things. And missing inside, another 3-ball count. In July, right before he was traded to the Twins, take a look at this pitch, and where it missed inside. 3-1. It fouled back. In July, Santiago went 6-0 with an ERA of 1.78 for the Angels.
Then they traded him.
And then they dealt him to the Twins. And he struggled in his first 4 starts with the Twins. Never completed 6 innings. But then something clicked and he did much better after that. Missed inside. So in the first inning so far, a hit batter, a walk, and that'll bring Hosmer to the plate with a man aboard.
Yeah, and all that creates a lot of pitches early on. 18 pitches so far here in the first inning. So looking maybe right here for Eric Hosmer to make a 1 pitch out very quickly. See the pitches to Cain kind of all over the place, especially up in the strike zone.
Here's Hosmer. Cain flushed back to the bag.
Over Santiago's career, he's always walked on an average of 9 innings, about 4 batters per 9 innings, and he'll pick up about 8 strikeouts. So, you know, what that creates is that high pitch count in 5 or 6 innings. Now, he does have 15 career pickoffs. Left-handers, they definitely have the advantage with the base runner.
You mentioned it. It really impacted the strike him out, throw him out double play because Gordon was frozen at first base for a while. It appeared. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Good hard slider right there. Hosmer looking fastball, and you can see the cut of that ball working the outer half of the plate.
And I saw Irvin Santana struggle with control of his fastball in the, what was it, 6th inning, I guess it was, on Monday. And then he got back into the strike zone with his off-speed stuff.
Those are the little adjustments you have to make. Cain has a great jump at first.
Another breaking ball, another swing and a miss. There's a slower breaking ball there. Let's see if the Royals send Cain here on an 0-2 pitch. The 21st pitch of the inning for Santiago. Cain does not go, and Castro with a nice job blocking that ball that landed in the right-handed batter's box.
And that's the catcher's responsibility. You know, you're heading the count. You have to believe if I throw a breaking ball in the dirt, my catcher will block it. And Castro did that.
It's a tough play to make because Kane, the right-handed batter, was standing in that right-handed. It's no longer level ground in that batter's box. Kane was just standing there a few minutes ago.
And a breaking ball has so much more spin on that ball than a fastball.
Another high fastball, and it's 2-2. Well, we made a big deal about it on Monday, how the Twins just 30 times last year had their starting pitcher get an out in the 7th inning or beyond. I mentioned Irvin Santana did that 14 times. After his trade to the Twins, Santiago did it 3 times. But as you said, the biggest culprit in many of those games was a high pitch count that saw him checking out after 5 or into the 6th inning. Grounder right side, hit right to Dozier. And a long inning, and Santiago struggled with his control throughout just 10 pitches, but he has a scoreless first. Paul Molitor hoping that this team can get off to a much better start. Wouldn't take much, frankly, compared to last year. And the Menards batting order for game 2 has Brian Dozier in the leadoff spot again. Max Kepler moving up to second. Byron Buxton third. Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, Jason Castro with a couple of opposite field hits on Monday. Eduardo Escobar, good numbers against Ian Kennedy. He's in the lineup today. Then Rosario and Grossman.
Yeah, and Ian Kennedy has been tough on the Twins. This is his 2nd year with the Royals and a 5-year contract he signed a couple of years ago. But this guy last year made 5 starts against the Twins. Kennedy 3-0, 2.86 ERA. Assortment of pitches, but he, like Santiago, relies on that fastball.
Brian Dozier in the box to get things started. Fastball down and away. And same spot. This one called a strike.
That's what he can do. He can work both sides of the plate. Kennedy will come right at him.
Dozier away with his reputation and built over the years of being able to do a lot of damage on pitches left on the inner half of the plate. Kepler on deck. 2-1 to Dozier. Popped up right side. Mondesi, Hosmer, and Hosmer with a catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Max Kepler. Northland Ford defense for the Royals. And a very athletic, good outfield. Alex Gordon in left, Lorenzo Cain in center, Palma Orlando in right. Cuthbert getting the start at third. Escobar, Mondesi up the middle. Hosmer at first. Salvador Perez behind the plate. Mike Moustakas will play most of the time at third base, but Cuthbert gets the start there today. Here's Kepler. bunt single for Kepler in the ball game here on Monday. The Twins in back-to-back plate appearances executed bunts beautifully. That might equal their total of successful bunt attempts for all of last year.
I tell you what, not only he was doing his job, he also the way he hustled down that line that created that infield bunt single. He was looking just sacrifice, advance the runners or runner.
2-0 to Kepler. Pop up short left field. Gordon comes in. Escobar out. And the shortstop makes the catch in front of Gordon. 2 down.
Well, as I mentioned already, Kennedy in his career has pitched well against the Twins. He's pitched against them as a Arizona Diamondback, as a San Diego Padre, and then his numbers from last year: 5 starts, 3 wins, very good earned run average. Guy that has a very good curveball. He'll mix in a little cutter, like a slider, and a changeup, but very good control.
And now Byron Buxton, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts on Monday, and he takes strike 1.
When you look at Kennedy, you look at a guy that has been very durable, and that's why the Royals signed him to a 5-year contract. A guy that will give you 30 or more starts a year.
1-1.
You can see the fastball, as I mentioned. He likes that fastball almost 67% of the time. He'll throw that fastball, mixed curveball, changeup, and slider.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Royals had their way with the Twins last year, winning 14 of the 19 games. Twins were shut out twice last year by the Royals. Both of those games started by Ian Kennedy. 1-2. And Buxton takes a call, 3rd strike. A clean inning for Kennedy as the Twins go down 1-2-3. Monday afternoon against the Royals.
You know, and baseball has pitchers that are throwers, and then you have pitchers that are pitchers, meaning that they work all corners of the plate. And Irvin Santana, to me, is a pitcher. Outstanding job. Remember in the 7th inning, you talked about first 6 pitches were out of the strike zone, but then didn't have a strikeout until then. Then he struck out the side after that. He made the adjustment, and that's what Hector Santiago needs to do right here. Too many pitches in that first inning, 23.
And too many of them up and out of the strike zone. In the first pitch of the 2nd, up, ball 1. That's hit a long way down the line, but foul. 1-1. Perez, a pull hitter, and the Twins infield and outfield plays him accordingly.
Yeah, both these pitchers here, you saw that long foul ball right there, can give up home runs. Santiago last year gave up 33, as Kennedy did.
Check to swing. No, 2-1.
So you try to stay away from that long ball, but if it is, you want it to solo home run. You don't want that give it up with men on base. Good changeup right there.
2-2.
Hector has that fastball. He's got a slider, curveball, changeup, and then a screwball that he turns over a little bit. That looked like the straight change.
Fastball down and in. And another 3-ball count.
I like what you said on Monday about Salvador Perez. He's the guy that kind of keeps the Royals together, not only as the catcher but also his leadership off the field. Gold Glove winner, All-Star.
And another high fastball, and the second walk issued to or by Hector Santiago. And let's go down to Marty Gellner.
Guys, we're taking a look today at our car scoop from the clubhouse. Paul Molitor put Eduardo Escobar at shortstop today. He said just to mix guys into the lineup early in the season. Shouldn't read anything other than that into it. And for designated hitter, he said he'd like to use the same guy for a majority of the games, but he said who that guy is, we don't really know yet. So far, it's been Robbie Grossman these first 2 games. And Molitor said waiting out that new rule of having only 30 seconds whether to decide to challenge a call or not on Monday. He said it was a little uneasy, knew the clock was ticking, but luckily he got good intel from his staff. They got a good look at the replay and got a call overturned. A big one in the Twins' favor, guys.
That was the bunt laid down by Kepler that the Twins ended up getting challenged and corrected.
Yeah, one thing about Escobar too, with Polanco sitting on the bench, it's Escobar 10 hits and 22 at bats against Kennedy too, so you know, good success. So Polanco getting the afternoon off so far, but Escobar in the ballgame.
Orlando bunts through the first pitch, swings through the second. The Royals in that 6th inning yesterday, Monday. Got a leadoff walk, didn't do anything with it, and now Santiago issues a leadoff walk here in the second. And at 3 pitches, he takes care of Orlando.
Yeah, picking up his second strikeout.
And that'll bring up Chesler Cuthbert.
So after a couple pitches down in the strike zone, he goes up the ladder and threw it right past Orlando, middle in.
Can be in the dugout in the on-deck circle, and you can, I suppose, see a pitcher missing high through every at-bat, it seems, and you get up there with 2 strikes, and then you still think you can catch up to that fastball just out of the strike zone. Missing inside, ball 1. 33 pitches for Hector Santiago, and less than half of them strikes, only 16.
Moustakas on a disabled list most of the year. Cuthbert had an opportunity to play, and he played well.
Another high fastball and another swing and a miss. Foul back. Of course, the hope is that the Royals will be healthier, and as a result of that, get back into postseason play. They finished the season last year 81 and 81. By the standards they had set, that was very disappointing, having been in the World Series the 2 years prior. 1-2. And there is the thought, skeptically, that the Royals window, if you will, is already beginning to close with so many of their key players eligible for free agency after this year. Guys like Moustakas and Hosmer and Kane. So it might be left to guys like Cuthbert to maintain what the Royals have built in recent years, a fun team to watch, a competitive team on the field.
I think the class of, say, the Royals or the Twins, they have to build that minor league system up to produce young men like this that take over for free agency.
And a foul tip on a breaking ball. Cuthbert got a piece to stay alive. Perez still staying at first. Another 3-ball count for Hector Santiago. Tapper to short, should be 2. 1, 2, and Santiago issues a leadoff walk but gets a double play grounder, and in the end faces just 3 men in the inning. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. Meantime temperature, well, upper 40s, but not snowing, not raining. We're very happy to have you with us as we bring you Twins baseball again for the 2017 season.
It's refreshing today, is it not? I find it refreshing.
Well, but you spent all winter in Florida, so this would be refreshing for you.
Beautiful day.
Here's Joe Mauer leading off the Twins second. And strike call. Mauer, Sano, and Castro in the Twins second. Joe just 2 for 14 against Kennedy, a measure of how good he's been. Kennedy has been against the Twins. Flip foul, 2 strikes. Royals, as we said, finished 81-81, and one of the culprits was their starting pitching. 3rd from the bottom in the American League. Edison Volquez had a very disappointing year for the Royals last year. He's no longer with them. 0-2 to Mauer. Long wait on the mound. Now Kennedy's ready. Fouled back. And of course the Royals dealing with the tragic death of Yordano Ventura, killed in a car crash in the Dominican Republic during the offseason.
Yeah, devastating.
The patch the Royals will wear all year long in honor of their ace. And again, Kennedy locked in on Perez, and now he's ready on 0-2. 1-2. Twins took 7 walks in the ball game, most of them coming after Danny Duffy left. They had a very patient approach throughout the game in some key spots in the opening game on Monday. And he wraps a breaking ball near the outside corner and gets the call from Randazzo, 1 away.
Yeah, after a fastball away, he sneaks that breaking ball down and away or outer half of the plate and picks up his second strikeout.
Monday, Royals took a 1-0 lead on a Moustakas home run, and then Sano almost immediately answered.
Well, he could have hung close on that ball right there. Look how quick it left the ballpark. 113.8 miles per hour. Second hardest hit home run in his career. I don't know if anybody's sitting in that seat or if they had to replace it or not. My goodness.
And now Sano will bat with one down here in the second. As Sano was approaching home plate, you saw him patting the patch the Twins were wearing on Monday, the YL patch for Yorman Landa, who also was killed in a car crash in the Dominican Republic. Landa, a minor league prospect for the Twins. Down and away, 2-0. Talking with James Rowson, the new hitting coach for the Twins, he said he was really happy with Sano's patience at the plate, taking some close pitches and taking what he was given. And now he's in a favorable count here, 2-0.
And Perez sitting down and away and missing is Kennedy. Kennedy has, I told you, Santiago walk about 4 per 9 innings. Kennedy about 3 batters per 9 innings. But averages over 8 strikeouts per 9.
And a 4-pitch walk. Sano's second walk of the year. He popped up a couple of times, hit the home run and walked. And that'll bring up Castro. Group outings at Target Field are a great way to have fun with your school, youth sports team, church, and more. Groups of 25 or more qualify for special ticket discounts and can reserve traditional stadium seats without a deposit. Organize your group outing at Target Field today. Log on to twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS and ask about a Twins Target Field group outing. Here's Castro. Up and in, 5 in a row out of the strike zone by Kennedy. Castro slashing a couple of opposite field hits. The second hit driving in 2 runs in the 7th inning when the Twins opened up the game.
Got 2 very good at bats. Pitches away, didn't try to pull them, just took it over the head of the third baseman here on Monday.
Checked his swing, and they appeal, and he went 1-1. Santiago hoping that he can get some early run support. On the hands, 2-1. Kennedy had such a quick first inning. He's struggled a little bit here in the second with a 4-pitch walk to Sano, and now hitter's count to Castro, but he's still thrown, just as you see, 23 pitches, but just 11 strikes. Up and away, 3-1. Escobar on deck.
Early in the ball game, maybe a hit and run situation here, but Sano not in a big lead at first base. Really not a threat to steal a base.
Strike called, 3-2. And now we'll see if the Twins send Sano. I would think not. Remember, a year ago he had some hamstring issues, and a cool day like today, wouldn't think he would take off. Escobar, good numbers on deck, good numbers against Ian Kennedy. Put check swing, ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and they're 2 aboard for Escobar.
That's the walks of the Royals that allowed the Twins to open up the game in the 7th inning here on Monday. So back-to-back walks here.
You know, I talked with James Rowson about that today. It's a really good first game for the hitting coach as he saw his team take 7 walks, and he says what he's been trying to do from day one in spring training is emphasize the positive and tell his hitters collectively, look, get something good to hit. Don't talk about the negative about, oh, you shouldn't have done this or you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have swung at that pitch. Get something good to hit, and within that, good things will happen.
Well, this roster of the Twins is filled with young players, and you know, you have to try to find that positive.
And of course, when you say something like that, that somehow is tends to be interpreted as a comment on his predecessor, Tom Bernansky, who was one of the most encouraging guys the Twins have had as a coach for a long time. 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
Sad to say for Tom, he did a great job. He's a good friend, a former teammate of mine in 1987, and hopefully we'll see him in July coming back for the 30-year reunion. But sometimes hitters just need sometimes a new voice.
Who might say the exact same thing as the other guy.
Okay, like we did with our kids, you know.
Yeah. 0-2 to Escobar. Twins trying to take advantage of Kennedy's back-to-back walks issued. Foul. Escobar still alive. Kennedy's got a couple of strikeouts already today, but both of those were looking. Rosario on deck. Laced up the middle, a base hit. Sano around third. He's being waved home, and the Twins take the first lead.
Well, Escobar continues to have good success against Kennedy. Some high breaking ball, maybe a changeup or a curveball, but Escobar did a good job of staying back and lining it right back up the middle. Now 7 for 15 in his career against Kennedy and picking up an RBI. Got ahead in the count, 0-2 with a couple good fastballs. And then Escobar took a fastball and fouled it off. Then he missed with that breaking ball. It looked like a breaking ball right there that stayed up, and Escobar lined it right back up the middle, so he picks up an RBI.
Rosario takes one in the dirt, blocked nicely by Perez. Well, you've said it for years, and of course I believe it, in part because you've said it.
Thank you.
But it's okay to acknowledge a catcher blocking all these pitches in the dirt. When I say nice block by Castro, nice block by Perez, they're doing their job. But boy, the game sure changes. An inning changes if a catcher doesn't do that. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Well, he's one of the best right there in Salvador Perez.
One and 1 to Rosario. Taken down and away. Haven't had even 10 innings worth of plate appearances by the Twins, but it just looks like there have already been an awful lot of pitches that the Rosarios of the world might have swung at a year ago. And instead we're seeing so far at least a much more patient approach and a much more disciplined approach. One of the reasons Monday's game was so much fun to watch. Ended up taking 7 walks, which eventually led to the win. Now 3-1 with 2 runners already on base. Up and away, and
an excuse me swing right there by Rosario.
And if Kennedy walked Rosario, well, that might have gotten the Kansas City bullpen activated, because Rosario doesn't want to walk. Checked his swing on what would have been ball 4. Rosario last year, well, in his major league career, almost 800 at bats and only 27 walks.
So you're saying he's up there swinging?
Kennedy a bit on the ropes here. He's gotten himself into this mess, and now he's got to deliver a good pitch here to Rosario with Grossman on deck.
A couple times already in this inning, maybe 3-4 times, Kennedy has not gotten the sign that he wants to get from Perez. Not on the same page right now.
Base hit center field, a rocket right over the head of Kennedy. Castro will score.
Oh, look at that. Nobody at second base.
And somebody did not follow through, and I don't know whether that's Hosmer. Somebody's job is to cover second base, and Rosario alertly went an extra base.
That's Mondesi, the second baseman that was drifting over to first for some unknown reason, where Hosmer was standing. So that allowed Rosario, got a good fastball away, but lines it as Escobar did right back up the middle. Almost hit the second base bag. And that scores Castro from second base. And on the play, and the throw going in, Escobar, good piece of running.
Hey, you're right, Mondesi. You could see as the ball was getting out into center field, for some reason he was retreating to first base. Well, now the infield is in with 2 runs already on the board. And Grossman at the plate. Grossman had 5 plate appearances in the game on Monday and didn't put a ball in play. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. And he takes ball 1.
And that walk created an RBI in that 7th inning.
Quick trip to the mound by Dave Island to talk to Kennedy. Outside, and now Kennedy is really struggling with his control. 2 walks already in the inning. He ran the ball, ran the count full with Rosario. Never did throw him a strike, but Rosario got one up shoulder high and said, I can hit that, and he did. And now 3-0 with first base open and Dozier on deck.
He needed only 11 pitches in that first inning, already 28 here in the second.
Just 19 strikes out of the 39 pitches. A 4-pitch walk, and Grossman gets another walk.
And a 3rd walk of the inning for Ian Kennedy.
Grossman, the newly anointed designated hitter for the Twins, so far has been a designated standard. Here is Dozier, popped up to Hosmer, his first time up. Corner infielders are up, middle infielders back. They need a double play here to keep the damage to a minimum. And Dozier chases a high fastball, strike 1. Perez, as he did throughout the first inning at bat, setting up away off the plate. Kennedy missed his spot, but got away with it. Better pitch and the same result, but it's 0-2.
Yeah, that's a slider right there.
Runs already in and the base is full. Dozier trying to get something done on 0-2. Back to the mound under the glove, and Dozier beats the relay with Mondesi getting the force at second. Coming in from third, Escobar, and it's a 3-run inning.
Yeah, I don't know if Kennedy got a piece of that or not. Maybe slowed it up and then slowly got the Mondesi right at second base. But Dozier hustling out of that box picks up an RBI. Twins take a 3-0 lead.
And when you're behind 0-2, that's a pretty good at bat for it.
That's kind of a check swing like that. I don't think he maybe the mound slowed it down, but Bryant hustling down that line and staying out of the double play. And that scores Escobar.
And now Kepler with runners on the corners and 2 down. Big swing. He waited on the breaking ball, but came up empty. Walks, 3 of them, in fact, 2 line drive singles up the middle, and 3 runs at least up on the board. 1-0 1-1. Kepler moving up to the second spot in the batting order. He, of course, handled right-handers quite a bit better than left-handers. Waits again. Swings and misses again. Kepler hit .248 against righties and .203 against lefties in his rookie season. 1-2. Dozier goes, pitches outside, there is no throw. So with 2 strikes on the batter, the Twins, or maybe Dozier himself, felt, look, I can take an extra base. They're not going to throw through. So now they're 2 men in scoring position.
Yeah, stolen base for Brian Dozier as Perez holds on to it.
Now hit to the outfield, should score 2. The count is 2-2 to Kepler. 37th pitch of this inning. And Kepler swings and misses, and the inning ends with a strikeout. It started with a strikeout, but the Twins took 3 walks, got a couple of hits, and turned it all into 3 runs. Kennedy struggled with his control. Take a look at our Sanford Health injury report. Twins hope to get Ryan O'Rourke back before too long. They will not get Trevor May back until next year. And it's anybody's guess as to when Glenn Perkins will be able to pitch for the Twins. Glenn is down in Florida rehabbing his shoulder. Twins with an early lead. Rosario, the left fielder, Escobar, the shortstop, with sharp line drive singles. And the Kansas City shortstop, Alcides Escobar, leads off. And there's Santiago again delivering a fastball across the letters for ball 1. Fly ball center field. Buxton going back. 1 down. With 1 away in the top of the 3rd. Let's find Marty Gellman.
Here is our big story for today, guys. Johnny Cueto pitched 5 innings. He also got a hit that drove in a run and scored a run for the Giants, who beat the Diamondbacks 8-4 yesterday. Cubs center fielder Albert Almora Jr. robbed a potential game-tying home run from the Cardinals' Matt Adams. That was in the 7th inning on Almora's mom's birthday. Former White Sox pitcher Chris Sale will make his Red Sox debut tonight. That'll be in Boston against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sale had that big 17-win season last year, and we'll see him in a Red Sox uniform for the first time pitching tonight. Dickenberg.
Thank you, Marty. And more importantly, I guess the Twins won't see him this weekend in Chicago.
Yeah, we showed you Cueto getting that base hit and pitching, what, 5 innings, but you better be able to hit if you're a San Francisco Giant. Madison Bumgarner, my goodness. What an example.
2 home runs on opening day. On to see with a swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Fairly quick first out for Santiago. He could use another quick out here. Tapper foul.
Well, your team gives you a quick 3 runs early. You want to come out and put a 0 on the board. Hopefully a quick one.
Swing and a miss. Quick strikeout.
Strikeout number 3 for Hector. Well, Santiago, guy that again relies on that fastball and throws many different grips. You see the 4-seam fastball, the 2-seam fastball, the changeup, the slider, the cutter, the curveball. That's a lot of different grips to figure out which one you're going to throw.
But look at the bottom 3 there. Curveball, slider, cutter, and the fingers are positioned next to each other identically to all 3. It's just the position that the baseball is gripped can make it do 3 different things.
Well, what you want to do is you want to utilize the seams of that baseball to make that breaking ball spin. And the tighter you can get that rotation, the harder that breaking ball is going to be for a curveball or a slider.
1-1. Alex Gordon hit by a pitch his first time up.
You know, it's amazing. I have pretty good curveball that you talk to. When I came up at 19, I talked to Andy Messersmith. I remember with the Angels, he had a really good curveball. Everybody holds it different, how they try to get the rotation and that spin of the ball.
Buxton retreating back. Under it now.
Good inning.
A 1-2-3 quick inning for Santiago. Some people think that Byron Buxton still eventually will be a leadoff batter for the Twins. He will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Presented by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino. The best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Byron Buxton leading things off. And he bunts it. Foul. Just barely foul. That ball being picked up in the left-handed batter's box. And of course, you go from the back angle of the plate up the baseline. This one was almost in fair territory. It landed in fair territory, but that foul, but not much at all. And I think we'll see Buxton do more of this as he leads off innings. He's already shortened up. Cuthbert at third base is in a couple steps shorter than he was on the first pitch of the at-bat. Left field line, but a foul.
And you're going to see, I think, hopefully throughout all the shifts that we've seen, a guy like Buxton, yeah, I mean, that bunt right there, if he bunts that ball toward first base, say even bunts it past the pitcher, look where Mondesi's playing up the middle. I mean, he could almost walk to first.
He's shown proficiency with that push bunt up the right side, less so the bunt down the third baseline. 2 strikes. And another strikeout. Buxton in a deep rut. 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts, 1 away.
Good changeup right there by Kennedy. He needs a quick inning. 37 pitches last inning, so on 3 pitches. Throws an off-speed pitch, a changeup, and Buxton way out front.
Mauer called out on strikes his first time up. Already a couple of postponements in baseball. The White Sox Tiger game postponed for the 2nd time. They made up the first rainout yesterday. They'll make up the one today in May, ball 1. And that has changed the rotation for both the Chicago series upcoming this weekend and for the Tigers series when the Twins go there early next week. Twins will get Justin Verlander as a result of the rainout today. Should get Verlander, I would think, on Tuesday. One and 0 to Mauer. Strike called, and it's 1-1. Look where, and we've seen this from teams before, but look where Orlando is. He's standing about in the middle of the scoreboard in right field. And there's got to be 100 feet between him and the right field foul line. This one down the left field line, and even Alex Gordon can't catch that one.
Well, unless you're going to throw Joe a changeup and that'll stay inside, Joe's not going to hit the ball down the right field line. That's not Joe Mauer. Line drive up the middle, hit the gap down the left field line as Gordon hugging that line as normal down in left field.
1 and 2.
So the big shift, you can see where Orlando is playing.
For that matter, if he hit it right over the second base bag, he'd probably get a double. And a liner to left, a base hit. Mauer's aboard with a 1-out single. 3 hits for the Twins, and they've all been line drives. Mauer aboard with 1 down, and that'll bring up Sano. You can choose your games, choose your number of seats with the Flex Plan. Save money on tickets, food, beverage, and merchandise. The Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose when you decide to go, whether it's a month before the game or an hour before first pitch. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. Sano drew the leadoff, or excuse me, the 1-out walk that started the 3-run second inning. Popped up, fouling out of play. This one looked like it was center cut.
Yep. That's why sometimes as a pitcher, you know, you throw a ball that's like that, and you feel like you got away with something.
1 strike.
And you say, don't do that again. And he does.
High fly to left field and deep. Gordon to the wall.
Oh.
And he makes the catch at the wall. And Mauer is almost doubled off first. The wind blowing in from left field is the only thing that kept that from going into the seats.
I thought that ball was out for sure.
He hit it high enough where the wind is a factor.
Yeah, yesterday or Monday's home run, that was a rocket, but here you can see the uppercut swing, and I think Miguel thought it was out. But you're right, the height of that baseball drifted back, and Gordon able to make the catch.
right up against the wall for out number 2.
Shades of Arlington, Texas, when they had the old stadium. That wind would be blowing in from right field, and balls hit like that, second basemen would catch it.
I talked with Joe Mauer and Brian Dozier about the wind here. They're two of the veteran guys who've hit a lot of baseballs here at Target Field, and what the wind does, because during batting practice we noticed the wind was blowing in, but yet you stand at home plate, and because of the construction here, how vertical this ballpark is, home plate, it felt like a 15-20 mile per hour wind blowing out.
Right. It's almost a circular type of wind effect in this ballpark.
But when you get it as high as Sano got that one, the wind clearly knocked it down. On the outside corner, 0-2. Castro, I think it was a strike, but of course he's got to maintain a good working relationship with Tony Randazzo.
Pitch number 60 already for Ian Kennedy after 37 pitches in the second.
Outside, 1-2.
One thing, Kennedy has always been a very, very consistent pitcher. Again, good for 30 plus starts a year. Worked almost 200 innings last year.
One and 2 to the Twins catcher. Now 2-2. That's one of the great ironies, of course, in baseball, that as baseball players generally are far better physical condition than they were in years prior. Less and less is being asked. No, don't give me that dirty look. Less and less is being asked of pitchers.
As far as innings pitched?
Innings pitched, starters, yeah. You're talking about him, being an Iron Man for, 33 starts. Well, you guys were routinely expected to make 40 starts in a 4-man rotation. What'd you say? Well, your top was what, 325 innings pitched in 1 year?
Yeah, 40 starts.
Who signed your name after that season? You certainly.
I wanted to play winter ball. I felt good.
2-2.
Again, if you could have 2 or 3 guys, maybe 3 guys pitch 200 plus innings, you got a pretty good staff.
Now full count to Castro with Escobar on deck.
Yeah, Kennedy, I think last year, again, 5 starts against the Twins. He was consistent at all 5. 3-0, 2.86 ERA. This is not the Kennedy we saw last year so far.
Recent Twins history, we'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll see what happens on this 3-2 pitch. Full count. Bauer will take off, and there he goes, and the ball fouled back. In recent Twins history, maybe the best Twins team that we've had since 1991 was the 2002 team. They won 94 ball games. They didn't have one starting pitcher so much as pitch 190 innings in that season. The top pitcher that year was Rick Reed with 188 innings pitched.
Well, if he could have got Jim Thome out, he would have pitched more innings.
3-2. And Castro works a walk. He fell behind 0-2 and showing, again, really good patience, which has been the theme so far here in the early season. He draws a walk.
You're patient, but then look at this, where that pitch was. It wasn't like on the corner. That was up and away. So Kennedy really fighting with his control. See this at bat right here. Got ahead in the count. Missed away. And this last pitch will show you that ball's worse than all the other 6.
But to get the count full after falling behind 0-2, he took some close pitches. And now Escobar. And flip foul over the Kansas City dugout.
Yeah, Escobar got the rally going for the Twins with that RBI single up the middle. Scored the Sano for the first run.
And he fell behind 0-2 in that at bat and ended up hitting a rocket into center. Foul back again. Escobar behind in the count again, 0-2. Pitch a little bit low, 1-2.
There, now Kennedy was ahead of Escobar in his last at bat and then threw him that off-speed curveball up. Take a look at his last pitch. Just good pitch. That's a pitch that Escobar. See if he stays with that fastball.
Popped up left center field. Kane and Gordon. And it'll be Kane to end the inning. A hit, a walk, 2 men left aboard to the 4th. Twins up 3-0.
Take my family on vacation.
A vacation with my family.
Go to Mexico.
To Rome and Barcelona.
Take them to Florida, and we went out there and had a good time and, you know, just chill.
We took some cooking classes. I didn't remember much from it, but luckily she did, so that was by far the best thing.
All right, well, what was the best thing you did in the
Well, every year
off-season?
we go on a cruise. We went to Denver to see my daughter and son-in-law.
I thought you were going to say you went to Denver on a cruise. I was going to lead to a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah, how about yourself? Take Heidi in. I know Gail and I go on a cruise every winter.
I did a lot of hunting and fishing. And
talking about things with your wife.
Well,
I guess that would be for Heidi, wouldn't it? That you're out of the house.
One thing I did, and I ran into one of my teammates here. I played in the Roy Hobbs World Series down at Fort Myers for the first time in November.
Heidi came down with you?
No, she didn't. 3-0, Santiago has struggled with his control throughout, but now coming off a 1-2-3 third.
He has yet to give up a hit. He's got a couple walks, 3 strikeouts.
And there's a strike.
It's just the pitch count is up there a little bit. We have 53, 54 now.
Strike percentage of 51%. 3-1 to Mike Moustakas. And pulled foul. Now the Royals aren't hitting, and so let's give credit where it's due. The Twins have pitched the Royals pretty tough. They have just the 3 hits. Moustakas' home run and a couple of stray singles on Monday. Full count with Kane and Hosmer to follow. Got him. Kind of hung a changeup up and in, but he got him to swing and miss.
Moustakas strikes out for the 2nd time, and Santiago picks up his 4th. I like this new how he goes about business as far as a pitcher to the hitter. Everything away, and then that last one inside. And a changeup.
Came back from 3-0 to strike out Moustakas, and now Lorenzo Kane. ball just off the plate.
12 batters now that Santiago's faced, been able to get strike one on only 4.
Foul back 1-1. A year ago, the Twins had Tommy Milone in their rotation. Milone had a really good spring training to win a spot. The exclusion of Tyler Duffy, who started in Rochester. Swing and a miss. This year, the story in camp is a different left-hander. Adalberto Mejia, who is probably going to start Saturday in Chicago. And he won a spot in the rotation to the exclusion of Duffy, who now is a long reliever on the Major League club. 1-2 to Kane. And now 2-2. Neil Allen back with his third year as Twins pitching coach. To center, and Buxton will play it on a hop. Kane with a sharp single.
The first hit of the ball game for the Royals.
And that'll bring up Eric Hosmer.
A couple double plays turned behind Santiago so far. The strikeout throw him out in the first inning, and then Cuthbert hit into the double play in the second.
Hosmer with a bouncer to second to wrap up the first inning. Royals sent a runner in motion, Gordon, in the first inning, and Castro threw him out after Moustakas struck out.
And Kane, again, a very big lead at first base.
Off the plate outside. Tapper right side, and that'll bleed through. Kane to second. He'll hold up there. Just a ground ball hitting a good spot. The Royals will get the tying run to the plate in Salvador Perez. Sunday on Fox, the best of the best in NASCAR battle it out in the Monster Energy Series from Texas. Last year's winner Kyle Busch is looking for a repeat against a hungry field of competitors determined to steal the checkered flag. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series action heats up Sunday at noon Central on Fox. Here's Perez, drew a leadoff walk in the second. Popped up. Weekly infield fly rule should be called, and is. And Perez has gone on one pitch.
Good fastball in right there. Perez looking for something to drive up the middle, but jams himself and pops it up. So a big second out for Santiago.
That'll bring up Paulo Orlando.
Got in the kitchen a little bit of Perez. And that's exactly where Castro wanted that. Perez getting underneath it and popping it straight up.
When you talk about Santiago with Neil Allen, one of the things he likes about Santiago is what you just saw, coming in hard to right-handed batters, getting strikes inside. And Santiago, I think, in an interview where he ran earlier, said, you know, he likes to fill up the strike zone, and that means using the whole strike zone. Down and in ball one.
One thing you cannot be afraid of is that's pitching guys inside. You know, even on the first batter he faced, Alex Gordon, he tried to come up and in and ended up going it too far in and getting the right hand of Gordon. First hitter of the ball game.
1-0 to Orlando.
If you pitch in enough, it opens up the outer half of the plate. If you can hit that just like that with an off-speed pitch. Because hitters watch. I mean, like pitchers watch other pitchers. Hitters watch other pitchers as far as how they're going about their business. And if you're away, guess what that hitter's going to start doing? They're going to start diving and hitting that ball the other way. You have to show that you'll come inside. Santiago will do that.
Foul back.
I even mentioned on Monday what I thought Santana did a great job was working these guys inside, and that opened up that little slider that he has, and then a good changeup.
What's interesting is you've always been a proponent of, you got to have command of that pitch down and away, the fastball down and away.
Yeah.
But even at that, you need to come in, or that pitch down and away
is no good.
Right. 1-2. Santiago trying to strand a couple of base runners here with a 3-run lead.
Remember, he struck out Orlando in the second inning on a high fastball. Not that high. It was just above the letters, middle in, and Orlando swung through it.
Well, you want to resolve this at bat here on 2-2. You don't want it to go 3-2 with 2 outs. Guys on base can take off early. We'll see what Santiago does here with Orlando in a 2-2 count.
Well, what you throw 2-2, you should be able to throw 3-2.
Soft base hit to left field. Rosario charges. Kane coming in. Here's Rosario's throw, cut off by Sano, and the Royals are on the board. Rosario did not come up with a good throw, and he's a little slow in getting up in left field.
Yeah, it's almost like he threw a changeup, unlike Rosario, and he's kind of holding that arm. Well, softly hit. It's an off-speed pitch, a changeup. Orlando reaches out, hits it softly, and Rosario almost looked like a changeup. Rosario's got a great arm.
And that arm's just kind of been hanging limp out in left field. I don't know.
This is going to be a close play at home, but instead, Royals make it a 3-1 ball game.
And maybe on the follows there, you can see he's holding his right hand or wrist area. Something's not right with Eddie Rosario.
No.
Tying run at first, a run in, and Chesler Cuthbert up and in. And Rosario drawing the attention, and he telling the dugout he's okay. One to 0 to Cuthbert. Popped up and into the seats. Well, one of the things the Twins tirelessly have worked on since spring training opened up, outfielders hitting the cutoff man. We can all, I think back to last year. That was just almost embarrassing at times how many times outfielders didn't hit the cutoff man. But all that said, you want the throw to the cutoff man to be on the fly rather than, as you saw Sano picking it up on one hop. 1-1. To right field, playable for Kepler. 3 singles in the inning, a run for the Royals, and Eddie Rosario will lead off, at least we hope he will, in the bottom of the 4th. And then Robbie Grossman and Brian Dozier.
You know, both starters here on Monday night or Monday pitched so well, and here this afternoon, both Santiago and Kennedy have really struggled. A lot of pitches thrown.
This will be the 70th for Kennedy.
70.
And Rosario lifts one to left. And Gordon back a couple of steps. And Kennedy will take all of those he can get. Now let's get caught up. Brought to you by Toyota.
Well, Escobar with a couple runners on got the Twins going with an RBI single up the middle. That followed by Rosario's base hit up the middle. Made it a 2-0 ball game. And Hector Santiago, just a little hiccup last inning, gave up a run, but he's been good. Just a high pitch count, 72 pitches after 4 innings.
Robbie Grossman will hit. Take some pitches, one would think, after the 1 pitch out. And he takes strike 1 from Kennedy. Grossman with 6 plate appearances on the year, 3 strikeouts and 3 walks.
Well, a nice article on Robbie Grossman about what his goal is, and that's to get on base. However, he can get on base, and got a great eye at the plate.
You know, Paul Molitor has been asked a number of times already about, you know, the curiosity of having Grossman as his designated hitter at the start of the year. And essentially what he said, he said it succinctly today, you know, there aren't too many David Ortizes or Kendrys Moraleses around anymore. And maybe as we evolve in baseball and things change, you know, maybe that we'll see more Robbie Grossman types in the DH spot, more on base percentage guys rather than sluggers.
And then, you know, a lot of clubs are going to that designated hitter as a kind of a 10th player that could give somebody a day off, and then you put that day off guy in a DH position.
On the ground, Escobar scoops and fires 2 down. And that'll bring up Brian Dozier. Today's cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Brian Dozier among second basemen over the last couple of years. 70 home runs, 206 runs, and 176 runs batted in.
Yeah, 42 home runs last year. You know, he's put together 2 very solid years, and he wants to make it 3 in a row.
And the 42 home runs last year were a pleasant stat in an otherwise unpleasant season. But I think it's kind of done Brian a bit of a disservice in that it's tended to mask the fact that he is an above average fielding second baseman. He runs well, and he proved that in the 2nd inning at bat, beating out a potential double play grounder. So you think, wow, 42 home runs, he's a slugger. Well, he hit 42 home runs, but the strength of his game might not be home runs at all, but the fact that he's an all-around player.
Well, what was his goal coming into spring training? To be a better base stealer,
right,
to steal more bases, to do the little things that can win a ball game.
2-1. Three and 1. Kepler on deck.
Perez, I'm sure, going to be sitting down and away, which he is.
And Dozier got a pitch over the plate and tapped it foul. Twins exploited the opportunity they were given when Kennedy lost the strike zone, walked back-to-back hitters. Twins had 5 batters in a row, reached safely and scored 3 runs in the 2nd. 3-2. Just missed inside. All right, 42 home runs after 28 home runs a year before. He's a home run hitter, right?
I think the beautiful thing is you can always continue to strive to get better. I think each and every year I continue to learn something, whether it has to do with power or approach or whatever it is in the game. And I've never been a fan of ceilings and maximum potential and stuff like that people like to say. So a fluke, I don't think so.
Well, you never quit learning in this game. I don't care if you are a rookie or you're a 20-year veteran. You keep wanting to get better.
And in a stealing situation. Kennedy flips over there. Brian was leaning toward second base. Big leg kick, and Kepler takes ball 1.
Dozier last year 18 stolen bases in 20 attempts.
And last year, for the 3rd year in a row, Dozier scored more than 100 runs, 104 runs. Well, now 42 of them came when he trotted across home plate on the home runs. But he can help create a run in a situation like this because he can steal a base. Now a hitter's count for Kepler, 2-0. Didn't mean to, and a one-hop skipper to Escobar. No play at second base with Dozier getting there ahead of Mondesi, but Kepler retired in the inning end. Of the game, youngsters at a ball game on a cool spring day, and I don't know, I was going to say already making memories at the ballpark, but they're so young they may not remember being here. Having a good time nonetheless. I know there's a big school group from Worthington, Minnesota here today, and so they'll remember this day if for no other reason than it got them out of school for a day. CD's Escobar leading things off, and there's a first pitch strike. Escobar hit a fly ball to center his first time up. In the 3rd inning, Santiago was lined up to face the 3 batters he'll face here in the 5th, and he sent them down 1, 2, 3. Fouled back, 2 strikes. He got Escobar, Mondesi, and Gordon in a quick inning, and he could use another one of those here. This will be his 75th pitch of the ball game.
Yeah, nice grab right there. Ball kind of landed in those arms. Very proud that he made the catch.
High fly center field. Buxton drifts back. 1 down. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, #1 app for live baseball. Blackout. Other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 1 gone. Here's Mondesi. Mondesi tried to bunt his way aboard in his first plate appearance of the year last year. Dozier made a fine play. See what he tries to do. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's almost as if Mondesi thinks bunt first and swing second. That's how much he loves to bunt. So you have to be aware and be on your toes. Popped up right side. Dozier retreats. Kepler comes in. 2 down and 2/3 of the way. That quick inning that Santiago's in search of. Now he'll face Gordon. Gordon 1 for 4 in Monday's game. 0 for 2, 0 for 1, I should say, here today. Outside.
Nineteen batters face, now only 6 first strikes for Santiago.
And a strike on the outside corner.
But to his credit, only 2 walks, both of them coming in the first and second inning.
It's at that cutter, 87 miles per hour, and from up here it looked like it had some right to left movement as the pitch is coming towards home plate.
Yeah, I've seen Hector kind of shake his head. He's not real happy at what's going on out there, but hey, quick inning right here, might get one more.
Ground ball towards Dozier, backhanded beautifully, and is able to get him.
Wow.
Had a hard time getting rid of the baseball and threw it off balance and got just enough on it to clip Gordon to first base.
Nice reaction. Look at this. Still able to get the Gordon at first. Nice stretch by Joe Mauer.
Passion, that's my love, and I just want to go out there and be the best I can.
And Byron Buxton will lead off the 5th for the Twins against Ian Kennedy, and he takes down and away ball 1.
He also plays baseball because he's very good at it.
Off to a rough start. 0 for 7, 5 strikeouts and 2 pop-ups. So when he has put the ball in play, he's hit the ball up in the air. Of course, the Twins want him to hit line drives and ground balls. Outside 2-0.
Well, baseball's a game you have to forget what happened maybe an inning ago or an at-bat ago. You have to take every at-bat and hopefully make good solid contact, and that's what Byron's trying to do right here.
Fly ball left field. Gordon back near the track. One away. Got a 2-0 pitch. Just missed getting a base hit. Now let's go to Marty Gelman.
We are in the Minnesota Lottery winner's circle here with Anna from Minneapolis. She has $100 worth of scratch-off tickets for her 30th birthday. Happy birthday. Very excited about that. You told me that you chose a Twins game today, but the rest of the day is a surprise based on what your husband does. What are you expecting for the rest of the day?
I'm not quite sure. Hopefully a nice dinner, but who knows?
You hear that, husband? Nice dinner. So we're not talking fast food.
Correct.
Well, enjoy your birthday and your day at the ballpark, Anna.
Thank you very much. Go Twins!
Happy birthday, young lady.
Go ahead. I know you're dying to.
What's that? Are you going to mention my birthday
I'm
tomorrow?
not going to, but I know you want to.
Well, as you get older, sometimes you say, you know, do I really want to mention another birthday? But it will be number 66 tomorrow for me.
Bauer drives it hard to center, but right at Kane, 2 away.
And we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow, especially during the 7th inning stretch. I'm looking forward to it.
What's going to happen during the 7th
I'm going to take my clothes off and do a little dance up here.
Okay, well,
you're excited.
I've got some sick days built up. Good heavens. Now what is going to happen in the 7th inning?
I can't. You're going to have to wait and find out.
Well, I'm not going to show up tomorrow if what you predicted.
Bring a mask with you.
I've got plenty of those. I bring those with me every night I work with you. Here's Miguel Sano. Outside ball 1. 7th inning stretch. Well, let's let our imagination go to work here for a while. Well, I think I know. Big swing.
I know, because I told you earlier.
1-1. Sano with a walk and a warning track fly ball.
I got a chance to be Harry Carey tomorrow.
You're going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"?
Yes.
All
well,
right.
not by myself. I'm going to hopefully have about 20,000-30,000 people joining me.
Okay. Well, maybe it'll catch on, you know, as in Harry Carey's case, and you'll be asked to do it every day here at Target Field. Taken for a strike, 1-2. And that's not a wish on my part. I just think sometimes these things just take a life on of their own.
Once they hear my voice, no.
Well, I don't think Harry was known as a great vocalist. So no fouls it back. I still tell people, and I think you can relate too, when interleague play started the first year we went to Wrigley Field, Harry was still doing games.
Yes.
And I tell the story, and it's still remarkable to me. It was so much fun for 3 games in a row to see this rapt attention from the fans at Wrigley Field looking up at the booth next to us. Another foul backing out of play.
Yeah, he was to our right.
Yeah.
You're a legend.
Sano hit a high fly that the wind knocked down. Morton caught it right up against the fence and left. Now he's got a 1-2 count against Kennedy. Inside, missed by much.
Harry Carey, I know you like this one. Fly ball in the field, sunny day, and somebody missed it. The young man that missed the ball was from the Dominican Republic. And you see the ball inside. Harry Carey says, how can a guy from the Dominican Republic lose a ball in the sun?
Sano strikes out for the first time this year. Kennedy enjoys a 1-2-3 inning. Twins lead by a couple. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. They've had some bouts of control issues, but here they are pitching in the 6th inning.
Yeah, a lot of pitches thrown. Ian Kennedy after 5 innings, 95 pitches with 5 walks. He does have 5 strikeouts, all 3 runs coming off of him in the 2nd inning for a 3-0 lead for Santiago. You know, he's got 81 pitches after 5 innings. The only run and all 3 hits came off of him in the 4th inning.
It'll be Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer facing Santiago in the 6th. Santiago with 4 strikeouts, including Moustakas twice, both times swinging.
This is my last inning, very important for Santiago. He threw only 9 pitches to retire the Royals in order, 1, 2, 3. He has one of the innings of, say, the 1st inning, 23. You might see a reliever in. So anytime you can go deep into the ballgame, have a quick inning, get out there one more time, take 1 inning off of that bullpen.
And a lot of lookbacks to Tony Randazzo, and Moustakas gave him one on strike 1, not on strike 2.
Well, that was a breaking ball right over the heart of the plate. Little cutter, slider. There's a curveball that misses.
Two and two.
4 strikeouts for Santiago, 2 of them by Mike Moustakas.
Fouled back. The 3 hits, all singles, came in a span of 4 at-bats in the 4th inning. So far, the Twins starting pitching. Santana on Monday and Santiago today have kept the Twins in the game, giving up just 1 run apiece. Foul back again. Twins playing Moustakas straight up in the infield and outfield. Ground ball, Dozier to his right, can't flag that one down. Pretty similar to the ball that Gordon hit, but out of Dozier's reach for a leadoff single. Bring up Kane. This month, Fox Sports North, the Minnesota National Guard and Mall of America celebrate the month of the military child, and we're encouraging military families to submit a photo depicting what it's like for your child to be in a military family. More details on how to submit your photo, visit foxsportsnorth.com/events. It'll be the end of the day for Hector Santiago into the 6th inning, but he checks out with 5 innings plus 1 run allowed. He's responsible for Moustakas at first base.
A lot the hard way. I think that's the best way to put it. But still had fun doing it. So I wouldn't ask to be anywhere else. Great guys to be around through that whole process, and really looking forward to this year.
Duffy talking about the struggles he had last year, struggles that saw him this time of the year last year in Rochester, and then when he got called up to the big leagues, he really struggled.
Yeah, those are his numbers from last year. 26 starts, 133 innings, 167 hits allowed, and see the high earned run average is 6.43. This will be his first relief appearance in the big leagues. He did a little bit in the minor leagues throughout his career. When he first signed, he basically was out of the bullpen, but
he'll face Lorenzo Cain. Santiago walked him and gave up a hit to Cain. And now he'll face Cain will, the right-hander Duffy. Fly ball right field, and Kepler drifts back near the track. And Duffy gets a one pitch out.
Love that.
That'll bring up Hosmer. This year, coming into camp, there was a four-way battle, or so it was projected, a four-way battle for a starting spot in the rotation. I don't know that the guy who ended up winning the fifth spot was even in the picture, but you had Duffy, you had Trevor May, Jose Barrios, and as it turns out, none of those three ended up winning the fifth starter spot. There's Mejia trying to keep warm, and Duffy, toward the very end, was in a battle with Mejia for that fifth starter spot. Mejia won out over the comparative veteran Tyler Duffy. And we expect Mejia to pitch maybe Saturday in Chicago. I think that's how it's laid out for the Twins rotation. One strike with Duffy getting ahead of Hosmer. To center, and Buxton tracks it. 2 down.
And Duffy getting a couple fly ball outs. Basically a fly ball pitcher. If he can get that curveball down, then you get some ground balls or that sinker fastball, but mainly a guy that'll stay up in the zone and then realize he has a lot of confidence in that curveball. He's got a good one.
Kennedy on the bench, but Mike Minor, who pitched here on Monday, is warming up. He may pitch next for the Royals in the bottom of the inning, but first Duffy's got some work to do with Salvador Perez. Breaking ball missing low. Duffy had 10 eye-opening starts in 2015. Down the stretch, he may have been the best Twins starting pitcher on the staff. 10 starts, 5 wins, an ERA of 3.10.
You know,
wow.
Dick, this game is about adjusting. You have to adjust to maybe, you know, what you went through. He came up and everybody was talking during the winter. My goodness, he's going to be hopefully a future ace for the Twins, he and Jose Barrios. And it was a struggle last year, but you know what? He learned, like just from his interview. Yeah, he learned a lot last year. It was fun, but you learned something. And you never quit learning.
1-1 to Perez. Laced and caught by Miguel Sano at third. A rocket headed to the corner, but the big man picked it off. And Duffy faces 3 men and gets 3 outs. To the backup catcher, Chris Jimenez. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North, presented by State Farm. Combine home and renters and see how much you can save. All right. Eventually, Santiago and Jimenez will be battery mates. So
I think if we ask Hector after the ball game, yeah, hopefully he'll get the win. But you see Mike Minor, who worked here on Monday, out to make his second appearance. Those are his numbers in the minor leagues career. Excuse me, in the big leagues, all those coming with the Atlanta Braves.
Santiago couldn't talk to his catcher because that's Jason Castro, and he's leading off the 6th here against Minor.
I continue about Santiago. He just wasn't happy getting strike one. He just threw a lot of pitches in a short amount of time. But he battled through.
Got a chance to get the win. Castro, Escobar, Rosario in the Twin 6th. Castro has walked twice in the ball game. 5 walks today, 7 on Monday. Go ahead, figure that out for me now. How many total walks for Twins batters in a game and a half?
7 and 5 is like 12.
One and 0 to Castro. And now 2-0.
Minor worked here on Monday. He worked the 8th inning. Gave up a hit with a strikeout through 13 pitches, 9 for strikes. Recovering from shoulder surgery he had back in November of 2015.
3-0 to Castro. Strike call, 3-1. Royals with 3 left-handed relievers, 4 right-handed relievers, and as I told you on Monday, they have a 12-man pitching staff. The Twins carrying 13. Fouled away, now 3-2. Carnes, who won the 5th starter's job for the Royals, but they're skipping their 5th starter, and so he'll pitch out of the bullpen until he gets slotted into the rotation. Lifted down the left field line, and Gordon still chasing it. It's about 3 rows back. Trying again and again to give a fan a souvenir. Now he finally hands it off to him.
It's kind of a new role for Minor in the big leagues with the Atlanta Braves. Used as a starter and then had that shoulder surgery. Made the club out of spring training for the Royals as a reliever.
How about Jason Castro? He's had 7 plate appearances for the Twins. He's reached 6 times, 4 walks and 2 hits. And now we have to update you on the walk total.
That's like 13 now.
13 walks.
13 after 12, yeah. One of them was an intentional walk. Do we still count?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you got to.
No pitches were thrown. Just 4.
Here is Escobar. RBI single, driving in the first run of the game for the Twins in the second. Hitting now as a right-handed batter. Because of the 13 pitcher situation, the Twins have just 3 bench players on any given game. Chris Jimenez, the backup catcher, filling one of those spots. Liner to Hosmer, who juggles it and finally makes the catch, and then eventually the double play.
Yeah, Castro, you're kind of caught in no man's land. You want to get a good jump. The ball right off the end of the bat, right to Moustakas, and he had a little trouble excuse me, to Hosmer right there, and juggling it, and keeping it up, and getting the double play.
2 down, and now Rosario. Rosario also with an RBI single in the 3-run second, and then a fly ball to left. Pitches up with Rosario leaning back. Rosario with a foul tip, 1-1. Royals actually out hitting the Twins 4-3. And a swing and a foul, 1-2. And Belisle pitched the 8th inning here on Monday. He's warming up perhaps for the top of the 7th. Right-handed batters due up for the Royals in the first 3 spots. One and 2 to Eddie Rosario. Another foul back.
Good swing right there. Just got underneath it.
Another foul in with Rosario hanging tough. Fargo native Matt Strom was the first reliever pulled out of the pen here on Monday, and he had a frustrating outing, a busted bat single, a bunt single, and then some control issues. He ended up being tagged with 4 earned runs. In today's game, it's Minor getting the first call out of the bullpen.
The Royals have 3 lefties in that bullpen, 5 right-handers.
And now it's 2-2 to Rosario. Tap to the right side. Mondesi juggles it, and Rosario clipped by a step. Just 3 men bat in a scoreless 6th. On to the 7th. It's Twins leading 3-1.
runners on. Escobar got the Twins on the board with an RBI single, and then Eddie Rosario followed with an RBI single, both of them up the middle. As the inning that Ian Kennedy walked 3 in that inning. Just one of those hiccups. For the Twins, Hector Santiago faced one batter in the 6th, 5+ innings, gave up only 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts. He had a couple walks.
And a new Twins pitcher, Matt Belisle, will come into the ball game, picking up where Tyler Duffy left off. Duffy faced 3 men, got 3 outs. Matt Belisle will be in charge of the 7th inning.
There are the numbers last year with Belisle, those from the Washington Nationals. Worked here on Monday, 1 shutout inning. It did work the 8th inning, as you mentioned, Dick. 11 pitches, 7 over the plate for a strike.
Missed up, ball 1 to Orlando. Then Cuthbert and Escobar will bat. Now in the later innings, Royals have access to Brandon Moss, a powerful left-handed hitter off the bench. There's a strike, 1-1.
The high socks of Belisle showing the TC. 36 years old. Guys around him say he still acts like he's in his 20s. Keeps himself in great shape.
Swing and a miss.
Something off that breaking ball right there. Signed a professional contract back in 1999. Cincinnati Red organization.
Tampa to third. Foul ball, and Sano with a good play.
Hey, you play it out, even though you might be able to hear that umpire behind you being Jerry Davis, the crew chief. That ball hugging the line.
Orlando runs very, very well, so Sano, had that ball been a fair ball, wouldn't have had much time to react, and he got rid of it quickly and on target.
You can see this ball. Does it go over the bag?
Oh boy, very close.
Very close.
Last bounce in fair territory, but Jerry Davis said it bounced or got past the third base area in foul territory. 1-2 to Orlando. Got him. Froze him with a breaking ball for the first out of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Cheslor Cuthbert.
Cheslor Cuthbert, the third baseman.
Look at the last pitch, brought to you by Carrier.
Just a little slider cutter.
Cuthbert bounced into a double play and hit a fly ball to right.
I always wonder what the difference between a slider and a cutter is. And slider, it breaks a little bit more, maybe a foot. Or a cutter, I think you want the Rivera type cutter that only breaks maybe 3 or 4 inches, but just keeps spinning.
2-0. He's got 7 innings from their starter Santana on Monday. Essentially 5 innings today from Santiago. And now Belisle falls behind 3-0. Escobar on deck. Over the inside corner.
Belisle, this is his 600th major league appearance here this afternoon. That's a lot of ball games.
And a 5-pitch walk. And Cuthbert will go to first. Let's hear from one of the newest Twins about his envisioned role in the Twins bullpen.
Well, I really just want to win, and I believe the best bullpens always don't have ego on where they get slotted. And I feel like I took the mentality a long time ago that my job as a reliever, and when I signed that contract, it doesn't say anything about when I'm going to pitch. It just says pitch. And so I just try to anticipate that the phone will be me every time. and just go with that.
Great outlook right there. Guy that this has always been his role really throughout his career with the Reds, the Colorado Rockies, Cardinals, then last year with Washington. The 7th, 8th inning type setup man.
And has there been in recent memory a better example of what how Belial described his role? Pitch here to Escobar, foul back, than what the Indians encountered last year with Andrew Miller, who could have more than anybody else probably demanded, no, I'm a closer, I'm an 8th, 9th inning guy, and more often than not his appearances came in the 6th inning. And that all-in attitude when a player comes over, of course Napoli had it there all year long. A big reason why the Indians succeeded, because everybody kind of was arm in arm making sure that they had one common goal.
Well, Cody Allen is their closer, but
right.
I think we've seen enough baseball. You can win or lose a ball game in the 6th and 7th inning as well in the 9th inning. So these roles that Belial has found himself in over his career are just as important. Maybe he doesn't get the save, but he helps get the save. That's the bottom line.
Kansas City lineup will turn over with left-handers, and Rogers getting ready for them. Poke down the right field line into the seats. Belial has the luxury, I guess, of pitching to the bottom of the Kansas City lineup. Escobar so far today has hit 2 fly balls to center field. Mondesi is a switch hitter. He's on deck. Another foul back on a fastball.
Couple pitches that he's left up to Escobar, and he's had some good swings, fouling them off. Now make a nasty pitch.
Another foul back and a very aggressive swing by Escobar. The Royals coming out of the gate struggling to hit with just 1 run Monday, 1 so far here today. Hoping that they awaken sometime this weekend.
In Houston.
In Houston.
So where the Royals go next.
Another 1-2 to Escobar. Another foul ball to the screen. These, of course, go to Chicago. The White Sox kind of on a rebuild. Today, the White Sox signed Mike Pelfrey to a minor league deal.
Slider right here. Good at bat by Escobar. He's missed a couple pitches, fouled off a nasty pitch there.
Lyle will try again on 1-2 to Escobar. Got him with a breaking ball. Took a little off, spun it off the plate, 2 down.
Yeah, after that little slider, more to the curveball that he kind of took off, and Escobar going out of his swing zone to strike out. Watch this ball right here just keep drifting away.
It'll be the end of the day for Belial, who won't get a chance to pitch to the number 9 batter. This might be a function of bringing in a left-hander to maybe keep the Royals from bringing in Brandon Moss to hit for Mondesi. At any rate, Rogers will come in.
that I can pitch in the big leagues. I think that that's everybody's thing. Is once you get there, you kind of wonder if you can be successful and that if you can do it or not. And I definitely have confidence going into this year after last year, just knowing that I can be successful. And pitching into September last year was something new as well, and getting through that also is just another step.
Yeah, Taylor Rogers made his major league debut on April 14th after starting in AAA, and a very good freshman year. 57 relief appearances, ERA under 4, strikeout per inning.
On to see hitting right-handed or perhaps bunting right-handed. Takes ball 1. Rogers last year yielded just a .202 batting average to lefties, and bringing him in here may have kept Brandon Moss on the bench. We'll see whether Rogers is asked to go through the likes of Gordon, Moustakas. There's a bunt up the line, and it'll be foul. 1-1. The surprise of many, Mondesi won the second base competition for Kansas City. People thought Christian Colon might be there. See one of the top prospects for the Royals, and they're giving him a chance here to anchor the spot for years to come.
He's got a good line of blood with his dad playing Major League Baseball for 13 years.
Up and away, not close. 2-1. Veteran left-hander Craig Breslow available to them out of the bullpen as well. Swinging a foul, 2-2.
Yeah, fastball clocked in the low 90s for Taylor Rogers, and then he has two types of curveballs, a big slow one and then one he'll tighten up with. This is a fastball at 92, 93. Outer half of the plate.
Rogers gets the first man he's asked to get. Might be the only one he's asked to get, but he ends the 7th inning.
This is the tight breaking ball.
And Cuthbert is stranded at first. We go down to Tom Hanneman and Jack Morris out on the right field concourse for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Dick, thanks so much. So far today at Target Center, Jason Castro continues to make a very strong impression. 3 walks and a run. Hector Santiago went 5 innings, allowing 1 earned run and 88 pitches. And Escobar and Rosario, RBI singles for the Twins, who lead Kansas City 3-1. With Jack Morris, Tom Hanneman at Target Center. Jack, your impression today of Hector Santiago?
Well, you know, he was effectively wild. He left the game with a lead. What more do you want out of your starter? He turned it over the bullpen. So far, they've done their job. Timely hitting again, taking advantage of a few walks, a hiccup for the Royals starting pitcher, Ian Kennedy. And, you know, here we are sitting in a position to win game 2. So far, so good for the Twins.
Quick look at the showstoppers around Major League Baseball in the first days of the season. Madison Bumgarner became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to belt 2 home runs on opening day. He went 7 innings, fanned 11 Diamondbacks in a loss. Bryce Harper hammered his 5th career opening day homer Monday against Miami, and strong starts on the mound for Noah Syndergaard against Atlanta, and Justin Verlander in Detroit's win over the White Sox. That is our T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break from Target Field. Dick and Bert, back to you.
All right, that unlimited break, we're going to have to get used to that, because, you know, we usually, you know, the 7th inning stretch is
we get up and stretch.
We stretch, and we do whatever it is we need to do, but we can't leave the booth now. And tomorrow, at this point, you will have made your take me out to the ball game presentation on your birthday.
on my birthday, yes. Looking forward to it.
Nathan Carnes pitching for the Royals as the Twins come to the plate in the 7th.
You know what, time of the year, Nathan Carnes making his debut as a Kansas City Royal last year with the Seattle Mariners. Had some lower back issues that put him on a disabled list, but did make 15 starts for the Mariners and then acquired by the Kansas City Royals for Gerard Dyson on January 6th of this year.
Robbie Grossman will lead things off, then Brian Dozier and Max Kepler. Carnes principally a starter with Tampa Bay and Seattle, and a handful of starts with the Washington Nationals. Grossman checks his swing, but it's a called strike.
As you mentioned, he's kind of that 5th starter, so he's getting an inning or 2 in right here. Fastball, good fastball. Curveball, changeup type pitcher.
1-1. And if you're wondering about Dyson, he's got a chance with the Mariners to be an everyday player, something that he did not really get an opportunity to do in Kansas City. But the Royals still have a speedster on the bench. Should we get to that point today or tomorrow, Terrence Gore has kind of taken what was Dyson's spot on the roster. Pinch runner extraordinaire. 1-2 to Grossman.
A curveball right there to get ahead in the count.
And now 2-2. Third strike. Grossman gone on strike.
A changeup right there gets a call 3rd strike. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
Dozier is 0-for-2 with a walk. Reached on a fielder's choice and got credit for a run batted in when the Twins scored 3 times in the 2nd inning. Taking low, ball 1. Perez set off the plate. Burns hit the target, ball 2. Outside corner, 3-1. Perez throughout this series so far, when Dozier's been at the plate, he's set up in the same spot, right there.
Time for Brian to hit one here.
The outside corner. Brian took his ankle guard off.
Well, working down and away. Let's see what.
Yep.
Right on the corner. Perfect pitch.
Brian protecting that outside corner. Didn't want strike 3 called on him where strike 2 was called on him. Pitch might have been ball 4, but Brian's not going to be called out on strikes here. 3-2. Kepler on deck. Toward the hole, through for a base hit. Dozier finally got something on the inner half of the plate and pulled it through the hole.
Yeah, it looked like
Cuthbert and Escobar.
Change up right there after fastballs away. Carnes pulled the string and Bryant stayed with it. Cuthbert diving for the ball. You can see in the glove almost a circle changeup type grip. Bryant waiting back nicely, hitting it sharply on the ground. Cuthbert diving for it, comes up a little short.
Bring up Kepler. 1 for 7, a bunt single in Monday's game. See what the Twins try to do with Dozier here, reminding everyone that Salvador Perez is really, really good behind the plate at throwing out runners. And not necessarily after a pitch or to second base. He can throw and backpick runners as well.
A lot of it depends on how quick Carnes is toward home plate. Does he utilize the high leg kick or the slide step?
Big leg kick and pitch taken low. Fastball to Kepler. Off of first. Check swing, ball 2.
Yeah, that time Carnes did more of the slide step than the first one. Was kind of a high kick. A little deep going on right there.
Glenn, third base coach. And strike call, 2-1. Tack on some insurance. Buxton on deck. There goes Dozier. Pitches outside. Dozier is in handily with a stolen base.
And Carnes, it seemed like he even went higher with that leg kick that time. He used a slide step only one time in the 4 pitches he's thrown so far.
Dozier's second swipe of the ball game.
Look at that. Bryant 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 good steps before the ball even got to Perez because of that high leg kick. So Bryant steals the base. That's his second stolen base of the ball game.
And the count now 3-1 to Kepler with first base open.
When you have a potential base stealer like that, you're not giving your catcher the opportunity to show off the arm that Perez has right there. If you go with that high leg kick, you have to use that slide step.
Kepler takes a walk. First and second one down.
Another walk by the Royals staff.
So now that's 7 today and 7 on Monday.
Ooh, it's like 14.
And now Buxton with 2 men aboard and 1 away. Buxton needs something good to happen here to him. He's off to a slow start. Hasn't hit the ball hard. Has hardly hit the ball. 3 pop-ups and 5 strikeouts.
We need a gapper right here. Ball hitting a gap somewhere. Not that gap.
Half swing, a jam shot, and a dribbler foul. In his last at bat, took a couple of pitches off the plate, and on a 2-0 pitch, he got jammed just a little bit and lifted it into left field for a flyout. Kepler and Dozier run pretty well. Buxton hoping to set them in motion. On the left field line, but it'll hook foul.
And both pitches middle in.
Now what has happened to Byron, and he talked about it after the game on Monday. He had an at bat, and I think it was his 3rd at bat in the ball game, where he never saw a fastball. It was one breaking ball after another. Moylan was the pitcher, and he kept throwing him the sidearm breaking ball, and Byron never made contact. And so he's shown susceptibility to breaking balls, and Carnes may offer him one here to try to get a big strikeout.
Again, first 2 pitches inner half. Watch Perez behind the plate, now moving away.
And a fastball gets him on 3 pitches. 3 strikeouts Monday, 3 more today, 2 down, and now Mauer.
Carnes picks up his second strikeout. A couple pitches in, and then your workout or half. Byron swinging through it. Perez out to talk to Carnes about this at bat, I'm sure. Joe Mauer.
Earlier we saw right fielder Orlando playing in front of the scoreboard. Now you can see the biggest gap is between Orlando and Kane in center. And now Orlando is creeping toward the gap a little bit more, but they're trying to play him a little bit more straight up. Mauer with a line drive single to left and a line out to Kane in his last 2 at bats. Is up, ball 1. .330 average with men in scoring position. Some pretty good names on that list. How about Michael Brantley? Great to see him back in the Cleveland lineup. Taken low, 2-0. The big man on deck. Two and 0 to Mauer. Fastball 94, taken for a strike. Two-thirds of the pitches to Joe were taken. Most in the big leagues. He's taken 3 of them here. Three and 1.
This has got to be a pitch right here that Joe, if it's over the plate, don't be surprised if he takes this, because then it'll be 3-2. Runners will have that opportunity to be taken off on a 3-2 pitch.
This will be the 24th pitch already for Carnes. And the 8th walk of the day, and they're loaded up now for Sano. Wants this inning by Carnes. And Strom with left hand hitting Castro on deck. If the inning goes beyond Sano's at bat, Strom may be asked to pitch here in the 7th again. Sano with a walk, a run scored, a towering fly ball that the wind knocked down into Gordon's glove, and then he struck out for the first time this year in the 5th. Breaking ball down and away. Driven to right center field. High and deep. Orlando chasing it. High off the wall. It'll empty the bases. Sano rounding second. He'll try for third. And he's in with a bases clearing triple. Oh, to be that strong. That ball just kept on carrying to right center field.
You know, in spring training I mentioned, until Sano realizes he has strength the other way, you know, he seemed like he was pulling everything. Not this pitch right here. My goodness, the strength that he had, almost a grand slam, high off the wall in right center. He took the breaking ball that missed down and away, and then the fastball. Then that's, and you see it's middle in, but the strength right there, the uppercut swing. that ball just kept going and going. High, almost a grand slam. Instead, it's a 3-run double. Excuse me, triple. Wow.
Sano driving in 3 runs and breaking the game open. And again, the inning of difference might be the 7th inning today, as it was on Monday. Game, a game-tying home run, and his triple here may have broken the game open for good today.
So strong. Ball, that uppercut swing stayed about thigh high, and he drove it the other way.
2 down. Sano at third. Jason Castro facing Matt Strahm. And a pitch is up. Strahm had one of those really unfortunate outings here on Monday. A broken bat single to center by Polanco, a bunt single by Kepler, and some control issues, and all 4 runners ended up scoring. And in one outing, his first outing this year, he gave up more earned runs than he did all of last year.
Yeah, good ERA right now, I believe at 108. So that would not look good on the back of your bubblegum card. You need some outs. Strahm threw 11 pitches, only 5 strikes, but a lot of damage.
Up and away now, 3-0. Coming into the season, as much as the Royals tried to window dress it, the bullpen naturally would be a big concern for the Royals because they set the standard so high in recent years. Holland, Herrera, and Davis. Holland's gone, Davis is gone, Herrera's the closer. But what made the Royals so effective as Castro takes another walk. He's walked 4 times today. First and third. Kids opening day coming up Sunday, April 23rd, as the Twins take on the Tigers. Kids can enter the Kids opening day contest through this Sunday, April 9th, for a chance to participate in special pregame honorary activities. The first 5,000 kids 14 and under on April 23rd will receive a Twins customizable t-shirt. For more information, visit twinsbaseball.com/kidsopening or the ballpark app using your mobile device. I need to find out what a customizable t-shirt is. In reality, aren't all t-shirts customizable? You can do whatever you want to them. You can put your name on the back of them. You can take a hole punch and punch them full of holes. You can do whatever you want to a t-shirt. 1 strike to Escobar, and now 2. Runs in the second, 3 so far here in the 7th. And another foul back by Escobar. Foul back. Strahm has faced 6 batters this year, retired just 1. Young warming up in the Kansas City bullpen. One and two.
That breaking ball slipping out of his hand.
Close again. It's 2-2. Two. Strom on Monday threw 11 pitches, just 3 strikes, and that's his ledger again so far here today. Driven to left center field. Gordon to the gap. He won't catch it. It's gone. A home run. Eduardo Escobar with a 3-run blast.
Well, here on Monday, the Twins put a 6 number on the board in the 7th. And they do it again here on Wednesday.
Man to bat this inning is Rosario. For most of the last 6 years, the 7th inning has not been a kind one to the Twins. And here in the 7th inning on Monday, a big inning for the Twins, and in the 7th inning again here today. 1-2.
You know, a short period of time, what that does, it demoralizes the Royals in the 7th inning. And in the Twins, if they're down a run, oh boy, here comes the 7th.
Right.
It's that positive thought. It's a negative thought for the Royals side.
Lifted foul. Gordon chases it, but it's back in the seats. Well, again, we were talking about that a few moments ago. Herrera's abilities as a closer aside, it's the vacuum that has been created with Holland's departure, with Davis's departure in this area, the 7th and 8th inning, where the Royals typically had a lockdown bullpen. Somebody needs to step up and do a better job than they've done so far.
Well, that's what they're looking for to get to the closer.
Left field line, and Gordon chasing this one, but this one within his range. Big inning for the Twins. A 3-run triple and a 3-run home run. Miguel Sano nearly hit a grand slam.
Sports update. On this date in 2014, Ron Gardenhire earned his 1,000th career win as a Major League manager when the Twins beat the Cleveland Indians 7-3, guarding one of just 60 managers in Major League Baseball to win 1,000 games.
And one of the great people in the game, Ron Gardenhire, here yesterday or 2 days ago as the Twins honored his longtime coach, Rick Stelmazik. I think most of you know Gardy's going to have prostate cancer surgery here in the next couple weeks here in the Twin Cities, and we wish him the very, very best.
We sure do. Now the bench coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks will be taking some time off.
Taylor Rogers got the last out of the 7th. It was a big out because Mondesi represented the tying run at the time. He'll face Gordon and Moustakas, and then we'll see, given the complexion of the game changing with the 6-run inning for the Twins, Rogers may be asked to pitch through the 8th inning. One down with Gordon rolling out to Mauer.
Yeah, Paul Molitor quickly comes out of the dugout to make a pitching change.
So there goes that theory. And the Twins with a comfortable lead here, 9-1, but an off day yesterday, and I think an effort here to try to get as many people as they can into some game activity. So Rogers gets 2 men that he was asked to get, and another pitching change here in the 8th.
I have trust in my manager, I have trust in my teammates, pitching coaches, everything. So I want to go out there and throw as many times as I possibly can.
Well, 72 appearances last year for Ryan Presley. That his last couple outings in spring training, he was not happy. I talked to him the other day about it. Kind of flying open a little bit, so hopefully he can keep that left shoulder in. And Latta's natural ability, he's got good stuff. Outstanding fastball, good curveball. And you see the numbers last year, 14 holes in the 72 appearances.
In his next to last outing in spring training, he had a hard time throwing strikes, and then in his most recent one, he gave up a lot of hits. Not exactly how you want to wrap up spring training. And I do this regularly anyway, but I asked Ryan today, arm feel good, everything good? He goes, oh yeah, I'm just ready to go. So it's, you know, flush it out of your system, understand what mechanical adjustments you have to make, and let's go. One strike to Moustakas. Pulled hard and foul, 2 strikes.
Well, you know, you're down there, and especially, what was it, an extra week or 10 days this year. And Presley, you know, not involved with the WBC, so you're down there getting as much work in as you can. Finally, at the end, you say, let's get this baby going. I'm ready to get out of here. And then hopefully the light turns on, and so far so good. 2 quick strikes.
A lot of outings, a lot of innings last year. Presley was better against left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters. Moustakas with 2 strikes.
See the fastball right there at 96, and then a devastating over-the-hand curveball. Mixing a slider, but I like that curveball over the slider, an occasional changeup for Presley.
Castro may be asked to block one of those curveballs here. And he does. But Moustakas checked his swing.
The idea of a good curveball, the bite that he has, you want to throw it on just on the other side of home plate, not on the fair side.
It is a quantifiable thing now, spin rate. And you will hear more and more about that as pitchers are evaluated, both for fastballs and curveballs, the spin rate. And Presley's is among the league's best, and a better curveball gets a swing and a miss.
And Castro right there to block it.
And now for our State Farm combination. And so far, so good. The pitching staff getting contributions from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Irvin Santana, 7 very good innings, 5+ innings for Hector here this afternoon. The bullpen has been outstanding. So good pitching, good defense, and the 7th inning for the Twins.
And now Lorenzo Cain. Fouled away. There's 97. And there were times last year that Presley was clocked 98, 99. He never quite hit triple digits. 97 is.
Shame on him.
One strike to Cain. And that was 97 and neck high. One and one to Lorenzo Cain. And that quicker breaking ball, that's a 90-mile-per-hour slider.
Now with a comfortable lead too, this is where you can work on some things too. And that curveball, even though he struck out Moustakas, 2 that weren't quite where I think he wants it. See if they go back to another one. Yeah, they do.
Really good finish to the inning for Presley with 2 strikeouts. Twins comfortably in front, and you're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm.
One cushion against the Royals. Coming up in Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll look at the day Eduardo Escobar has had at the plate. A 3-run home run, 4 RBI total today for Esco. And at the plate, the Twins as a team have worked 9 walks. Very good patience today and on Monday afternoon against the Royals. Plus, we'll hear from the manager, Paul Molitor. It's all coming up in our postgame show, Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Dick and Bert.
All right, thank you, Marty. Big Chris Young will come out of the Kansas City bullpen and pitch to the Twins in the 8th.
Yeah, starter a little bit last year, mainly used out of the bullpen. Chris Young at 6'10". Tries to create that downward plane.
Twins haven't done anything against him in recent years. And Robbie Grossman will lead off the 8th inning for the Twins. Two and 0. On the outside corner. And that's about as high as Young will get velocity wise, 87 miles per hour. Great changeup, and he knows how to pitch. On the ground to Hosmer, that's almost always an out. One down. Last year, the Twins started the year with a 9-game losing streak, and truth be told, they pitched pretty well in that first week and a half, but they scored a total of 14 runs in losing their first 9 games, and they've already scored 16 runs this year.
Well, you look what happened already this year. You have to, I'm sure they're going to talk to Ned Yost after this. 16 walks by his staff. Twins have only 14 hits in the 2 games. But a lot of base runners, and then, you know, the 7th inning hurt them both days.
1 strike to Dozier.
You cannot defend a walk.
2 strikes. Scores of the games last year to start the season: 3-2, 4-2, 4-2, 4-3, 7-0, 4-3, 4-1, 3-0, 3-1. Pokes it to right field, and Orlando toward the line as a play makes it 2 down.
I think in today's age of the gun, how fast you have to throw, then you look at a guy like a Chris Young and you say, you know, how's he lasted this long? He's a pitcher. He knows how to pitch. He changes speeds well. He can read what the hitters may be trying to do against him. If they're leaning, he'll pitch inside, change speeds.
Kepler takes a strike. Part of the Royals World Championship team 2 years ago. As you said, kind of a swing man last year. Spot starter, reliever. Foul back, 2 strikes. Twins have a guy 6'10", Aaron Slagers, who's starting in AAA. I saw him pitch a couple of times in some minor league action, and he's got some potential. He can throw strikes, and he has so far in his professional career. He's an arm to watch at 6'10", big, tall right-hander, and he, like Young, kind of throws over the top and gets good downward movement on his pitches. He is not, Slagers is not as stocky as Young is.
Young had a chance to play in the NBA. Make that a career, but he chose baseball.
1-2. Sharply hit and into center field. Kepler's second hit of the season, the other a bunt single, and now he's reached in back-to-back at bats, and that'll get Buxton a chance here to put together a good at bat.
Yeah, Kepler did not have the best of spring training, so that base hit right there hopefully is a motivating factor for tomorrow's ball game.
And Buxton could use a good at bat here. He's a really struggled. He had a good spring training, but he's had a hard time making contact. 6 strikeouts and 3 pop-ups. Up and away, ball 1. Off-speed pitch gets a swing and a miss.
Young, 37 years old now, originally signed back in 2001.
dribbler. Going to be a tough play for Cuthbert. Buxton beats it out. He has his first hit, putting the ball on the ground and outrunning the throw. First and second, 2 down. And Chris Jimenez will hit for Joe Mauer.
Once this ball, you can see right off the end of the bat, gets by the pitcher Young. It's Cuthbert has to come in and make a good play, but the speed of Buxton. It's a base hit.
Real time down the line. First and second, 2 down, and Chris Jimenez made the team as a backup catcher, but as much because of his versatility. On this day and age, when teams carry at least 12 players, pitchers, and in the Twins case 13, you need players who can do more than one thing. Jimenez is a backup catcher, but he's also played substantially at third base and first base. We may get a chance to see him at first base in the 9th inning. Got his first hit years ago for the Indians against
Scott Baker.
Scott Baker. And it was a big fly.
That was Carlos Gomez out in center field.
That was a long time ago. Most of the last few years, Jimenez has been going back and forth between Texas and Cleveland. Popped up weakly, right side. Mondesi comes in. And that ends it. Twins get a couple of 2-out hits, but they take an 8-run lead to the 9th inning. Miguel Sano will be the new Twins first baseman, with Chris Jimenez going to third base. Sano had a big swing of the bat on Monday and a bigger swing today. Jimenez, where he spent most of his time other than behind the plate defensively, will anchor at third base.
And on the mound, making his major league debut, Justin Haley, 25 years old, had quite the winter. We'll kind of go into that, but here's his major league debut. Hard throwing right-hander, steps across his body. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
Hosmer lifts the first pitch out of play. So if Haley wanted that first pitch, first ball that he threw in the big leagues, it's somewhere up in the upper deck here.
Haley at 6'5", list him at 230 pounds. You know, he had quite the winter. He started in the Boston Red Sox organization where he signed back in 2012. This winter was picked up by the Angels in the Rule 5 trade. And then a day later, the Angels traded him to the Padres.
Bounced to short, backhanded nicely. Escobar with a throw. Got him! What a play by Eduardo Escobar! He ended up in short left field. And an off-balance strong throw right on target.
How was he able to get something on this ball with his chest going toward Rosario out in left? He going to his right, backhands it, and then turns and able to throw it on the mark over to Sano. Look at this unbelievable play.
One down. And that'll bring up Perez. Perez 0 for 2 with a walk and strike 1 from Haley.
To continue on Haley, you know, the Angels Rule 5 from the Boston Red Sox. The next day, Angels traded him to the Padres. Then right away, the Padres traded him to the Twins for a right-handed relief pitcher in the minor leagues, Miguel Diaz. So with a matter of a couple days, you're with like, what, 4 different organizations. Boston, Angels, Padres. Now he's a Twin. A Rule 5 pickup.
Which means the Twins have to keep him on the 25-man roster as long as he stays healthy. They can put him on the disabled list, I suppose, but he needs to be on the roster all year long, or he would be offered back to the Padres, who then could offer him back to the Angels, who then could offer him back. When you acquire a Rule 5 draft pick, you are under that obligation to hold him in your organization. 0-2 to Perez. Slow breaking ball, bounced to short. Jimenez has it. 2 down. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by Century Link, and a noon start in the final game of the series. Jason Hamill making his Royals debut. Kyle Gibson, an outstanding spring training, and he's typically been tough against the Royals.
Yeah, he's won his first major league game in his first major league start against Kansas City here. But I'm anxious to see how Kyle does tomorrow. It's such a great spring training. Hopefully he'll carry it into the year. I believe he will.
Taking on a Kansas City team that through almost 2 games now has a total of 7 hits. Credit the Twins pitching, but the Royals not swinging it real well right now. Here is Orlando, their last hope here this afternoon. Game will start a little afternoon. Our pregame show at 11:30. Off the fist, foul. Low 90s fastball.
There are the different grips, the 4-seam fastball, the changeup like a circle changeup or adding a finger, the curveball with the finger up. And then the slider.
That is the knuckle curve, right?
Yeah, Don Sutton used to hold it that way, right. But his was more of a curveball.
Dave Goltz threw a
knuckle curve.
1-1.
And he had a nasty one. Goltz he did.
And now 1-2.
Now getting his feet wet, Justin Haley. I'm glad he came into a game like this, you know, just to take that deep breath. Still, I'm sure, very, very nervous. See if he can get the final out here.
Fastball up high. That'd be the perfect ending, wouldn't it? You strike out Orlando, catcher hands you the ball, you get to keep it for your first major league appearance. 2-2 to Orlando. And break the ball down and away.
Lead off that breaking ball.
Full count. Cuthbert on deck.
Haley signing with the Red Sox in 2012 out of Fresno State.
On the ground, Dozier knocks it down from his knees, ends the game. Haley's major league debut, a successful one, and another lopsided win for the Twins.
I'll tell you what, pitching and defense, some good defensive plays behind the staff. Just a great job by the bullpen. And Hector Santiago starts off 1-0.
Tom Hanneman, the Twins playing 2 clean games back-to-back, 2 convincing wins over a team that really gave them trouble, really over the last 4 years.
Dick, winning could be habit-forming here at Target Field. The Twins produced the power and the pitching for their first 2-0 start to a season since 2007. Up next on Twins Live, we'll break it all down. Twin 9-1.